Time speeds up as you get older, and almost everyone notices it at some point. A kid waiting for their birthday feels like it takes forever to arrive. An adult blinks and an entire year is gone. This isn't just a feeling people made up to complain about getting older. There are real psychological reasons behind it, and once you understand them, you can actually slow things back down. One of the biggest reasons has to do with how your brain measures time. Your brain doesn't have a clock inside it. Instead, it estimates how much time has passed based on how much new information it had to process. When you're a child, almost everything is new. You're learning how to tie your shoes, meeting new friends, discovering what thunder is, figuring out how school works. Your brain is working overtime to take in and store all of this new material. Because there's so much new material, that period of your life feels stretched out and full when you look back on it. As you get older, life becomes more repetitive. You wake up, you go to work, you take the same route, you talk to mostly the same people, you eat similar meals. Your brain doesn't need to work as hard to process a day that looks almost identical to the day before. Fewer new memories are being created, and fewer memories means less material for your brain to measure time by. When you look back on a month that was mostly routine, it feels like it barely happened, because there isn't much for your memory to hold on to. This idea connects to something called proportional time. When you're 5 years old, 1 year is 20% of your entire life. That's a huge chunk of your existence, so it feels massive. But when you're 50 years old, 1 year is only 2% of your life. The actual length of the year hasn't changed, but compared to everything else you've already lived through, it feels tiny. This is why summers felt endless as a kid, but now an entire season can pass in what feels like a few weeks. There's also a biological piece to this. Some researchers believe that as you age, your internal sense of time, driven partly by changes in dopamine levels in the brain, actually shifts. Dopamine plays a role in how your brain tracks intervals of time. As dopamine production naturally slows down with age, your internal clock may run at a different pace compared to actual clock time, making the outside world seem to move faster than your perception of it. Another factor is how much conscious attention you're paying to your daily life. When you're on autopilot, driving a familiar road, doing a routine task at work, scrolling through your phone, you're not really present. Your mind is elsewhere, and very little of that time gets encoded into memory. Later, when you try to recall that day, there's almost nothing there, so it feels like it disappeared. Compare that to a moment where you're fully present, like the first day at a new job or a trip somewhere you've never been. Those moments stay vivid because your brain was paying close attention while they were happening, and vivid memories make time feel like it lasted longer.
This is actually good news because it means the speed of time isn't something you're powerless against. If new experiences and full attention are what stretch time out, then deliberately adding novelty to your life can slow the feeling back down. This doesn't mean you need to take exotic trips every month. It can be as simple as taking a different route home, trying a new restaurant, picking up a new hobby, or having a real conversation with someone instead of a routine exchange. Anything that breaks the pattern gives your brain new material to work with, and that new material becomes the raw ingredients your memory uses later to say, yes, that happened, and it took a while. Being present matters just as much as novelty. You can be in a completely new place and still feel like time flew by if you spent the whole time distracted, checking your phone or thinking about something else. The moments that stretch out in memory are the ones where you were actually paying attention while they were happening. This is part of why people who practice mindfulness or who are more engaged with their daily lives often report that time feels more spacious to them, even though they're living through the same 24 hours as everyone else. So the sense that time is speeding up isn't really about time itself moving faster. Time is constant.
What changes is how much of it your brain actually registers. A life full of repetition and autopilot will always feel like it's rushing by, while a life with more new experiences and more genuine attention will feel fuller and slower, even if the number of hours is exactly the same. Understanding this gives you something practical to do with it. If you want your years to stop blurring together, the answer isn't complicated. Add something new. Pay attention. Break the routine every once in a while. Your brain will do the rest, and time will start to feel like it's giving you more than it's taking away.